Macho John Madden standing on the grounds of the Hampton Inn in Victoria, Tamaulipas State, Mexico. Magic. Pepe. Looking out at the mountains. I had read somewhere online that there were mountains near here, but look, they're not just near here, they're like there. You'd be in them in 10 minutes. So, conventional wisdom says Victoria is not safe. Current news, current release from the State Department says Tamaulipas province, state, is one of the 5 states not to go to for Americans, and Victoria is listed as one of the most dangerous cities. Wasn't for us last night. We're parked at the HEB lot over there, and we've been walking for a couple hours. This is the way we like to get to know a town, is to ramble around. And the way I like to plan my trips is moment-to-moment updates from Spirit. I'd get a text message from Spirit saying, the last one said, "You got mountains here, Jack. You've been gone from the mountains for 2 years. You miss them dreadfully. You're going to run to the beach when you could spend the month of March exploring those mountains out there." They call them the Sierra Nevada East or Minor or some. 2 Sierra Nevada ranges run north to south in Mexico, one on the Pacific coast and one over here on the Gulf Coast. And these are probably not the 12,000 feet mountains. They might be more like the Blue Ridge Mountains that we know so well, 6,000 feet or less, but those are mountains. After 10 months in Rio Grande Valley, more than that, a year, I guess, just about a year in Texas, flat Texas, most of it. You would miss that. You've been saying, just a week ago you said if you absolutely get turned back at the border, you could go back to North Carolina and straighten out your tags. Wouldn't be so bad to see North Carolina in the springtime. It would actually be heaven. Almost heaven, West Virginia, right? Mostly, we just went cut through a little corner of West Virginia in that year of rambling around the mountains. But to be in the mountains, oh yeah. So, is the cartel going to get us? And I think probably we won't spend much time in Victoria. We'll find places in those mountains to park the camper van. We probably will make occasional trips to Victoria. Magic has gone somewhere. Oh, there he is. When I call him, Magic, where have you gone? He's on special good behavior because he's afraid that little puppy is going to steal my heart, which he will not, because he's a little piece of shit and I don't give a shit about him at all. And we're debating, do we dump him in the garbage again today or tomorrow? Sirens. Sirens don't make this dog's ears to go crazy like it did with Pancho. What, did something bite you? When that puppy tries to go bond with Magic, Magic acts like the puppy is going to bite him. Hops away, jumps away, but also shows moments of curiosity. And just flooding him with love, and trying to give that dog love on the QT when Magic is not watching. I just go totally bonkers on the puppy. So, I've got money. It would take half of our budget for the month. I don't know. I have no idea how much they're going to charge here. I've been told hotels are really cheap in Mexico, and it's off season. But the one we looked into, Las Flores, one of our days of walking across to Nuevo Progreso, did not impress. I kind of liked it. It was kind of pretty and poor people staying there, but it wasn't as cheap as I wanted. But that was right at the border with lots of gringos coming across, and we're 200 miles south of the border now. Okay, I have been guilty of heading for familiar terrain. HEB, yeah, maybe they'll take my American dollars. I know that HEB in Texas lets you stay in the parking lot overnight, and nobody bothered us last night. And then we went to the Burger King, and again, you know, I'm new. I'm not immersed yet. I'm so overloaded anyway. Got a little bit of familiarity. But if I spent a month here, we'd get off the beaten path. We'd find the carniceria. I'd practice my Spanish. We could find cheap tacos. And my friend Greta from the Blue Ridge Mountains, from Asheville originally, Jubilee originally, gave me a great tip about papaya seeds. She said you just chew up papaya seeds, 10 of them a day, and it'll keep some of the vermin out of your belly. Because it came home to me talking to her. Oh yeah, the Texas water was awful, tasted awful, and we bought cheap water out of machines as much as possible. But it probably was purified in a way that maybe not down here. Or different kinds of stuff growing in the water that my system isn't used to. So that was a great tip from Greta. I said, now, main theme of this conversation is don't overgeneralize. What works for somebody doesn't work for somebody else. Your tip is great. The way it won't quite work for me is that early in our 3 years on the road, my little chihuahua stole my dentures out of the tent, and I don't have any teeth. And at first I was super self-conscious, but now lots of people say, you don't have that sunken look of the classic Tennessee person with no teeth, straight out of the poster from the 70s, the anti-smoking poster with the toothless old woman with a ciggy hanging out of her corner of her mouth. Smoking is very glamorous. Well, I've offered to pose for an updated version of that, but they say that my mouth just looks a little too normal. It doesn't, it's not normal stuff comes out of it, but it doesn't look as abnormal as you are, actually. Okay, bye from Victoria. Me and Magic and Pepe. Tres Badass Brothers. Tres Amigos. Oh man, I watched that movie with Steve Martin and Martin Short. Mexico. It's a Mexico movie. Tres Amigos. It is hysterical. Oh my God, those guys are great. Maybe I'll watch it again tonight. And somebody told, I was talking with my Mexican friend Diana today. I hadn't talked with her in so many months. Back in Asheville, my soul friend in Asheville. And we were talking about all things Mexico. And she said the movie with Denzel Washington, Man on Fire, is set in Mexico City. Because I just want to watch everything, Frida, everything that's set in Mexico. Okay, bye. Say bye, Gracie. Come on, say bye. Say bye to the people. Say hi to the puppy, your new sibling. Come over here and pet the dog. Pet. Oh, this poor dog is worried. He's worried. I worry him anyway. Like, oh God, what's he gonna do now? And now it's, what has he done now? Just ruined our lives by adopting this little vermin. The little spick, as we call him affectionately because of my diversity training. I say it in Spanish. Pequeño, spicaño. Okay.